Ya tengo los audífonos, yo no te escucho. Y yo te amo. Tengo calor. Necesito más suministros, así que voy a hacer este trabajito de recoger cosas. Si me matan. Okay. Ya veo cuál es el truco aquí. Por eso tienen ese vehículo allá. Ah, bueno.
Supply drop on the way to the fort.
Copy. Retrieval team en route.
Come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. You can get to that drop before they do.
Oh god. ¿Robar un avión? Pues voy a llegar con algo de armadura.
This is a major haul. Clara better be proud of me.
Fuerte así. Gloves. ¿Qué es lo que hace? Yo ya tenía, ok. Yo no veo. Marksman's. Yo ya tenía, ok. Entonces, ¿cuál es el punto de comprar si eventualmente encuentro todo? A ver, quieren que capture esa base. Yo sé. Cerca de la costa. Ahí hay cargas.
Good dog, good dog.
Muy bien.
watch myself here. That camera needs to go.
Esa cámara se tiene que ir.
Bye.
Oops.
Should disable the alarm. Adios, reinforcements.
Ok, es hora de cambiar de lo que sea. Bueno. Bien. Tech pants. ¿Dónde está Tech? Ahí no. Oh, wow. Ahora veo por qué sería divertido conseguir explosivos. Le voy a dar. Oh, ese sí es bueno.
¿Qué fue eso?
I know I heard something that time.
What? There! There! Watch out!
Watch out, guerrilla. Reinforcements are on their way. Eyes up, Danny. Air support inbound.
Enemies in the exit.
Could come in handy.
yourself.
Así no es. Mi héroe.
Hey, Poppy. Boom, boom, go.
Hey, dude.
You.
My bad, bro. I ended up jumping
Get
on
over
the
here.
Far Cry. Wish you'd get on and do the campaign with me. I'll buy it for you for Christmas if you play with me.
Why Far Cry? Why are you so hard on that game right now?
Because it's like an open world, huge fucking, like, half the game's in Spanish, so I appreciate it. Like, and all, like, the music's great, the vehicles are great, the combat's great, the bases you take over are great, the co-op's really fun, you get fucking, like, a flight suit, like a wingsuit, parachutes, helicopters, planes, you can dump poison on people from planes over fields, and fucking do, like, stealth missions, underwater missions with scuba gear, and fucking, it's, like, dope. And you can do it with a bud, you know, you just go crazy.
What's up?
Heard rumors of some gear left by.
It's just like shenanigans, you know what I mean? It's like you do like missions, and it's just like you customize your character. It's got role play aspects because you pick out your equipment and you customize, like, there's tons of modifications for your guns, which is really like kind of whatever at the end of the day, because like it's like you, as long as you're flexible, the game's not that hard. You just need to like fucking, you just can't pause the game while you're playing co-op, so you need to like talk out with your buddy like how you're gonna plan out your like takedown and what gear you're gonna wear, because like it's not like practical to fucking, like if you're playing co-op to like go into your inventory and change your gear in like mid-combat, because it's live. So
Yeah. Nah, I'm good with that game, B.
damn. Why?
Spider-Man Christmas.
What's wrong with the good old shoot 'em up and machetes and throwing knives? You can pick, it's your choice. Like grenades, you want proximity bombs, you got fucking, it's got it all. You get animal companions that like,
I'd
huh?
rather play like XCOM or something.
It's kind of like that. We'd be like we're in cities and like villages and towns, and like it's islands with like, it's like little cities. You're trying to take over the country, like it's like in the hands of a dictator. That like there's a whole plot. There's a campaign.
We're not Solaris.
I'm sitting firm. My ass is like planted.
That's my door.
I'm not switching into any other games till I beat the campaign. Yeah, I'm locked in the beating the campaign.
I
As a
love
matter of
that
fact, I can stop fucking around. I'm like doing the side quest.
Spider-Man game. Game of the Year edition. I got it for like $15.
Oh yeah, I know. I actually have that one. So there's no co-op, bro.
Now it's only a single player game.
You gotta get on the Far Cry. It's got an awesome plot. The graphics are great.
I'm trying to find something that both you and Gabe would play. Gabe's not gonna play that either. Shoot 'em up. I'd rather play like, at that point I would rather play like a.
It's a good one though, cause it's like everything's first person.
First person. Nah, see, that's nah.
It's really weighty, and there's like terrain. You use binoculars and have to like study out your environment, and freaking there's like a lot of like stealth and like reconnaissance involved to it. You know, like the bases have like traps and like different guards and like like you can plant your own traps if you want, and like there's like all different types of approaches to like every single thing has multiple approaches to how it can be like done, but
I understand video games well.
and you map it out, like you gradually take over you like conquer the islands, like you gain territory for the rebels.
How far did you get in
And you upgrade your rebel base. you actually get gear for your rebels and like bunkers for them and shit, and like you get upgrades that like upgrade your army, and like you can find vehicles in the game that like give you, you know, sort of like combat edges. Like you can get different fucking tanks and helicopters and Humvees and jet skis and different boats and submarines and whatnot.
I don't know, B. I don't think I'm a believer. Dude, tell me about Pathfinder. I was trying to figure out how to play that game. I can't.
So you gotta play in
How far did you get? I know it's another single player game, which sucks, but...
So I got to the main boss.
You got through the game?
I got through the first book, the first story, like the first main chapter. But I got stuck at the boss. Like I couldn't beat him. He was too hard. He kicked my ass.
Not the main boss, dude.
The first books, the way Pathfinder adventures work is they split them up into a campaign, usually into 4 or 5 books, maybe 6 books, and like they usually take you through a few levels of like character levels. I mean, like this is an adventure written for players from 1 to 4, for example, and this adventure is written for players from 4 to 7, and so on and so forth. Like it like depends on what they want to cover. That way they publish like additions to the adventure in pieces. That way the dungeon master can really take in the information bit by bit, like especially if they're running like a new campaign, or like even if they just to break it up. They, you know, it's good to break things up in chapters, so that you run a chronicle. And they tried to do an open-ended world building game with Pathfinder. I'm personally really excited to get, once it comes out for consoles, I definitely want the, what's it called? Wrath of the Righteous? Wrath of the Righteous campaign that they're doing. That's the game that I want to play. That's the campaign I want to sink my teeth into. Because, they add the mythic features of Pathfinder, which is like, you can basically become like a demigod in the game slowly. Like you get like things that progress, and like you customize them in really cool ways for like, it makes high level combat insane. High level combat in Pathfinder is already is like, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time, buddy. Like death is a promise if you're not careful. Yeah, high level play in Pathfinder is rough, and so the nice thing. I mean, regular Pathfinder is. It's just they couldn't make it in a video game.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess it'd be too hard to format it that way, and like, it's just because it's like really campaigns. The way it's like tied around for a campaign, it just doesn't work. Sorry. No can do. I don't.
It's like really difficult to like figure out how the fighting style was so weird. Dude.
So the way it works in Pathfinder, it's because you've never played regular Pathfinder. That's why you're so confused.
I'm a fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah, you don't know how to play. Like, I've tried to teach you how to play. Like, I'm gonna be doing a horror house game online soon. Do you want to play that so you learn how to play Pathfinder first? I'm gonna do it on Discord. Like, we're gonna do a group chat with some of my coworkers, and I'm gonna run a horror house campaign. It's like a one-shot adventure. You start out at level 3 with your character, and it takes you to level 6 for like the end of the scenario. I don't know, you're invited if you want to get your headsets on. I'm going to have some maps for it. I'm going to be probably uploading some maps onto a website called Roll20 that like would let us have a virtual board that we could all log into. You just have to create an account. There's no like membership fees or anything. You just log into the game, I invite you to it, and I'd have to like make an artwork token for you and assign it to you for your character, and then you just move that around, and you could even have virtual, there's even a virtual dice roller so we could all see the results. Like, I know it's kind of like hacky. I'm not a big fan of virtual dice. Like, I let people roll their own dice if they have them and they want to, but if they need to use the virtual dice as a standby, that's fine. It's like everything's there that you need to just like play. And it's like, it's gonna be kind of like over-the-top map-based exploration game. Sometimes I like to use theater of the mind, which is great, but for big combats, like, I like to have a map just so like people have a point of reference, you know what I mean? When it comes to like some of the crazy combats, so people don't get like lost, like, and like what's going on, because sometimes there's like, especially old school Pathfinder, it can get a little bit boring when it comes to taking turns in the game. You're like, oh my god, whose fucking turn is it? Like, you get like it can, at high level combat, it can be rough with initiative order, because like your turns are so fucking like, okay, I move 15 feet this way, now I pivot, I have one standard action, I open the door, with my move action, I draw my dagger, and now I'm out of turns. But since it's mythic, I spend a mythic action I spend a mythic point to use an extra action. I throw the dagger at what homie's fucking throw. Okay, he's using his flat-footed AC because he's not aware of you. So he has a penalty to his defenses because he's like, doesn't know you're fucking sneaking up on him. I could roll like a perception check. The nice thing about the game is that it just does those dice rolls like in the background as you're playing. Like, if you try to sneak, like, they just kind of low-key, like, go off your character's skills, you know what I mean? So they like reflect what's going on in the game world. So that's the cool thing about the game. I'm trying to like bring it back, tie it back into what we're talking about. So the way Pathfinder works is skills are really important for like the investigation aspects of the story, or like whenever you want to try to accomplish something to move the plot forward, or to get your way to like, or like, you know, whatever you want to accomplish. Like, if you need to freaking intimidate someone who's like about to execute like a hostage, you want to like try to frighten them into giving up. That's certainly an option. You can be creative, like especially when you're doing like a live role play. The video game, it's a little different, but you can still do some of that, of course. And the way it goes is it's turn-based combat, so you want to press the right analog stick inwards, so it goes into the turn-based, and that goes in initiative order. So your initiative is your dexterity mod, typically. So your modifier is for every 2 points above 10, you get a +1 to your modifier. So like if you have a strength of 16, your modifier would be +3. If you have an intelligence of 18, your modifier would be 4, and so on and so forth. And like that intelligence modifier can be compared with your skill points in arcane lore, or paired with your skill points in crafting lore, like crafting, or appraisal, like things like that. That get you information in the game. I personally like 2nd edition more to like run tabletop games in. Now they made a whole new system, and I have all the books and everything. It's a great game. That's the one I'd be running, which is really similar to the Pathfinder you're playing. But it's just, you know, it's just an updated edition where they like revamped and they changed the system a lot, but like it's still like the same game overall. It's got the same essence of the game. They just, it feels like Pathfinder. It feels like you're playing Pathfinder, to be honest. Like I like the new system. Like a lot of people are like hesitant to I guess like accept it, because nerds, especially nerds, hate change.
There's the officer.
Video game. Goddamn tabletop game. Can't make a video game.
Well, no, they're more like they hate second edition now that it came out. Like they're like, why did you have to make a new edition? First edition was great. That's my favorite game. I love first edition. I will always be the best superior game.
Let's see how he does.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, this is not a good day for the outcast.
but it is what it is. I like the new game. I think it's crunchy. It's more intuitive. The numbers flow more. Like the game just makes sense with the new rules. Like if you want to learn to play real Pathfinder, I would invite you as a newbie, especially. I'd invite you to second edition. I'll play that with you in a heartbeat if you want to get in on some games, because I'm designing my own campaign. The world I'm doing, it's I have like a map generator for these. I want to do like a Broken Island kind of like open exploration game where I'm gonna do things in zones, kind of like how they did in World of Warcraft. Like this zone is for like all encounters are designed from level 1 to level 6. Like that way I know what kind of like creatures and hazards to drop in each region. That way, like as you get further, it gets like harder and more challenging as you level up. And I have like a whole premise I wrote up. It's like to justify like the presence of like a lot of the creatures and just give it like it's gonna be a classic old school D&D feel where there's not like a lot of mega like really like the plot's gonna kind of go with the way you guys want to take it. And I wrote a pretty cool setting out that's gonna just make for like a lot of fun open-ended play without getting like too serious and like a big. There's gonna be a little bit of a drama and some politics to it, but nothing that's like. It's gonna be easy to get into, and it's gonna be like an easygoing, fresh setting. That's gonna be fun and kind of like, you know, off the. Like improv, a lot of improv, but I guess I could explain it to you a little bit. So the idea is, there was like, originally like humanity was at its pinnacle, and like the level 20 wizards essentially fucking descended to the supernal realm, which would be the equivalent of where like the divines reside. So in my setting, I'm going to be doing homebrewed deities, and they're mostly dark gods. Like for the most part, all evil deities, because they were formerly wizards that like represent certain sins. Because I'm using the Rune Lord archetypes for the wizards, like the evil wizards who are like at the top. That like basically turn themselves into gods. You can play as a Rune Lord if you want. It's like something in the game, and they go off after vices. That's why I'm going to be doing like different deities that are reigning. Like they're basically like tyrants now that they're keeping people from like ascending and trying to like, you know, in a way prevent you from leveling up. They just want to like oppress the masses, and like I'm saying, like their descent like caused like a Pangea effect that pretty much broke up all the continents, and like the old humans, like any of like the animal human type things that are like in classic and Pathfinder games, like Sahagin, like the Sharkmen, like I would explain that as like mages fucking engineered them in order to be like slaves working in like on the coasts, like, you know, around bulkheads and like going into the sea and like doing whatever fucking drudgery that they were demanded to do. And that's kind of like why they have a grudge with humans. They just don't remember because it was so long ago and like you know, ancient times. So it's kind of like that sort of setting where there's going to be like a lot of relics from like the ancient civilization that was like at its pinnacle that got destroyed once the mages peaced and became the evil gods, and like the good gods, like there's a couple of them survived and they're in hiding, but they're weak. So if anyone plays a cleric, it'll be fun to kind of like bring strength to your religion like in the game and like make it feel like it has like an effect. It's kind of an easygoing adventure I'm putting together. That's just gonna be like fun, like a beer and chips game. And then with with intense combat and exploration and fucking like your own little plot, like you're gonna obviously explore towns and deal with NPCs and all that fun shit, and then it's just gonna be funny because it's like something you play with a group of people. But it just sucks that you don't know a lot of my friends. They're like a lot of like my coworkers. They're like a lot of them are younger kids, like in their early 20s. So I'm kind of the old man of the crew, but it's all good. I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, you guys want to play? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, fuck it. Because they were doing their own game, but they're like, I'm like, I stepped in like, no. You know what I mean? Yeah, you guys are all green. Exactly. But they got the will, they got the want, They got they actually all made characters for the most part. Like 3 out of the 4 of them already made their characters. And they're like, this is what we want to play. So I'm like, dope. You guys are great. Like, I did not expect you to get that done that fast, actually. You're way ahead of me. I'm going to be running for now, like I said, the horror setting. It's like a pre-written adventure where basically you're going to be exploring a haunted house. There's like a whole plot around it. There's like a whole map with different levels. Like combat, like I said, it goes from level 3 to level 6. And we'll see where it goes. Like, you're invited to check it out. Do you have like a class in mind? Like, do you have like a concept for a character you'd be interested in trying out? Like, is there anything, like what's your when you play like Skyrim, for example, like what's your go-to?
Miembros de Fuerzas Nacionales de Defensa están ayudando a manejar los negocios y el sector industrial gracias al ejército por apurar nuestro camino al paraíso.
Okay, so yeah, or like, is there like a party role that you think you'd like to do? Like, if we were thinking about it, and you like it, you like DPS. Everybody loves DPS. Are you talking ranged or like melee? Because no one is playing thus far no one is doing a ranged type. We have a druid. He's like dead set on playing a Goloma, which is like a weird jungle race. They almost remind me of almost like a horse in a certain way, like a they consider themselves prey animals and like two-eyed creatures to be predators. Like, they have multiple eyes, and that lets them like examine things in different directions, like a chameleon. Like, when it comes to like doing perception checks during combat, like to see if something's hiding in an area, like looking in like where you like scope out to try to see if something's like invisible creeping up on you. They have like the ability to like look in different directions, just as like an innate racial ability. And they're like really terrifying to look at. They're almost like horses in a weird way, like weird creepy horse people with like a lot of eyes. I don't know why he wants to play one so bad, but they're like, they're afraid of people for the most part. So I'm like, alright, you can play this fucking Goloma shit. He's like dead set on playing one. I told him I wasn't, like, it was the only time I would let him play one, is just this one time, and after that it's never happening again, kind of deal. Just because he's the homie. So I let him pick the race he was dead set on, and he's doing a druid. He's going with the leaf. So when you build a druid at first level, you choose an order. So it might be like Order of the Leaf, which is more like plant-based magics. Like, they have they're sworn to like, they have things that they have anathema, and like things they're sworn to uphold, like oaths. You know what I mean? And things that are like they're like absolutely opposed to and their class hates. And the nice thing about that class is that it's really good to build a healer with it. It's great for playing a healer. So that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna, since they're like kind of prey animals to begin with and not really predatory, and they're like kind of wary of people. He's playing one that was like abducted and used as like, you know, like almost like a zoo exhibit, just because of how weird and remote of like a race as he picked. So I'm like, oh, fine, I'll let you play this weird jungle thing that has no reason to be in the fucking setting, because it's not anywhere near that continent. So I'm just like, okay, I'll give you this one chance, and say you got out with your dumb primal powers, you bastard. And he's happy, so whatever. That's what that's said I'm playing. I don't give a fuck. As long as he's enjoying what he makes and he's role playing it, I'm like, cool. And he's following the rules, fine. So by the rules, he's playing a Goloma Druid, I believe that's a healer. Now I got this other asshat, Peyton. He's probably a little over his head with the game, but he seems down. He's gonna be playing he's gonna be doing a fighter. Oh shit, I just got spotted in this game. I gotta fucking dip. Anyway, he's gonna be playing a two-handed weapon fighter that focuses on intelligence as their primary mental stat in order to branch out into the way it works in 2nd edition is they changed how you multi-class. So in old school Pathfinder, when you want to multi-class, you just level up in that class. Like you take a level in Rogue, and you're just like, you add a level 1 Rogue stats to your level 2 Cleric, and it can be really unbalanced if you think about it. Like, one of the favorite dips was to go 2 levels in Rogue, because you get sneak attack that gives you a 1d6 extra points of damage, like a 6-sided die of extra damage that you can boost to a 2d6 with a feat. As long as you have sneak attack, you can get a feat called Advanced Sneak Attacker, which is great for fighters. Gives you a 2d6 of precision damage. And then if they take a 2nd level, the fighter will get, if a fighter takes 1 more level in Rogue, he gets Evasion. Evasion is fucking phenomenal. Evasion makes it so if you pass your reflex save against an AoE, like a breath weapon fire attack from a dragon or a bomb going off, instead of taking half damage, you take no damage, which fucking makes you basically lets you tank. And then if you get into flanking with an ally, you can fucking just jank people with your fucking skivvy knife and fucking get sneak attack damage out. You can do it with a fucking whatever weapon you have in old school Pathfinder. It doesn't need to be like a knife or like a special like type of weapon, like a edged weapon or something. Like there's like a certain category of fucking blades that give you sneak attack damage in 2nd edition, so they made it more balanced. So the game's a little less broken now. You can't just fucking gore rip like willy-nilly if you fucking... It was one of the pleasures of it, of course, when you want to play a hack and slash game, but a lot of Pathfinder is not hack and slash. It depends on the campaign you're running. My campaign obviously is going to be hack and slash. Like my homebrew is going to absolutely have a lot of hack and slash. That's why I want to play, just to do the combat, because I like combat mechanics. So what? That's cool. That's why it's like, obviously I'm gonna have downtime and like adventures and like things that lead up to combat. You know, like the exploration aspects, like going through a cave and then like what you see as a group and like what you experience, and then getting into initiative orders, and this is what comes out and attack you. That's like the essence of the game. And then it's like tactical role-playing combat. So.
I am proud to call myself a true Yonah.
Yeah. Who else we got? We got a halfling rogue. His name is James. He's his like dad's from Ireland. He's like a Princeton boy. He tries to dungeon master his own game, and he's a little more with it. He's on the ball with the nerdum. He's playing a halfling rogue, which is gonna be exciting. That's gonna be funny. I want to see what the fuck he comes up with, especially with a dad from Ireland. He's already kind of quirky. He's a ginger. In real life, he's a full-on ginger. A skinny little ginger.
A ginger halfling?
In real life, he's a ginger. Now he wants to play I'm gonna say his halfling has to be a ginger now. Just to fuck with him. Yeah. I want to see what he comes up with, though. He said he's got his character sheet ready. And then we have...
I would want to play like a half-elf alchemist.
Alright, a half-elf alchemist. Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. The alchemist is a dope class. When you make...
I would want to make like cool traps and
Oh, you want to play as a... Oh, okay. Then what you should probably... Well, what you could do then... Okay, here's what you need to do, Nick. I have something perfect in mind for you. Play the alchemist, so you get like all the elixirs and the bombs and the cool shit. And then take the... For your multi-class... For your archetype, like instead of taking a class feat when you level up, take the multi-class feat that lets you dip into a new class and get like a feat from that. You can get it at 2nd level. Like, I would take there's like a trap maker archetype that gives you like access to all different snares that you can build and like drop around the map and like build traps with. So at 3rd level you'd be able to build a character that already has access to all that shit. Yeah, you could do that. Absolutely, we can help you. I could help you make that. Can't figure out. I'd need to look at the snares too. There's like a whole list of them that you can build, because you're talking about a 3rd level character. So are you dead set on playing a half elf? Because you would get more benefits if you play as a full elf as an alchemist, because elves get intelligence bonuses, like, and dexterity bonuses, which is great for an alchemist, because your dexterity is going to help you throw your bombs, and your intelligence is going to help you craft shit. And, huh? Okay, but that's not entirely a flaw, because it allows you to, yeah, we call them feats in Pathfinder. Those are your perks. They let you pick. You can pick human perks, like perks that only. Now I'm saying perks, feats. You can get. I like perks more, but you can get personally. But anyway, you can get human-only feats that are pretty good. Especially, there's like ones that allow you to get, for example, an additional 1st level class feat, which is...
Better not question the Philly magic.
Yeah, and the half-elf gets natural low-light vision, dim light vision. Well, low-light vision it's called. And what that means is you can see in like a dim light setting. So there's like, normally if it's like there's like really low lighting in a place, not totally dark, not pitch black, but just like very dim low lighting, it's hard to see, like murky. There is a concealment benefit that people you're trying to hit can acquire if you can't really see them well. So they get like
What did you find for
so there's like a chance you can miss them basically because of your vision is not totally 100%. You get to negate that as a half elf because you have low light vision naturally built into your eyes from your elven heritage. Now, one of the great things is that as an alchemist, you can also drink a potion of dark vision that allows you to see in pitch black dark if there's no lights at all, and you have 60 feet of black and white vision, like night sight.
That dog from Yara?
Now that Carlos was gone.
Yeah. So you can like concoct a potion of that and just have that handy in your repertoire. And basically the way you do it is every day your inventory refreshes, so you can only really restock during a rest, and that's like when your party will take time to like heal and or do like some downtime activities, like do some skill checks to try to accomplish something. You know what I mean? Like downtime activities are like, okay, so you go to blah 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 and you try to talk so and so into doing what? Like, what's your objective? And like we like role play it and break out some die rolls. That's like downtime. Then there's there's downtime, exploration mode, and combat in Pathfinder. Those are the three modes that you just need to know if you're in either one. If you're in downtime, you're pretty much just chilling. There's like it's a low stakes setting. There could be some dice rolls involved. Things could if the DM wants it to happen. Like, you could have things switch into, like, a combat scenario out of downtime. But, like, it depends on... But that's, like... But then you're kind of calling a scene. At that point, you're saying, like, okay, let's have the party assemble here. Because it's, like, as a DM, you don't want to just... You have to balance... It's your job to balance encounters. You don't want to be unfair. Like, you can't... You don't want to be like, okay, you go to try to do this shit by yourself. But, okay, I'm going to have 3... rogues come out and you have like they're fucking 3 levels higher than you, and you know you don't want to do that as that's a shitty DM. Like the job for a good DM is to make encounters that are balanced to the party level, and the way I do that is I use all my traps and environmental hazards and creatures. I have them scaled or matched. I either have them naturally match your level. Every creature or every threat in the game has a CR. It's like a
smart dog.
It's like a challenge rating. That's what it stands for. Challenge rating. And that's how you balance out things you deal with in the game world. To like. And like if you know some, you can purposely put easy stuff in. Like if you want it to be like a quick mop 'em up encounter, like that sometimes makes the party feel good. Like, hey, you see like a chick being like mugged by 4 goblins, like you guys want to help her out, and then like you're all level 4 and they're like level 1 goblins. Like it's just a quick like you mop them up like kind of job. Like that's good once in a while, but you got to have tense moments too and some tough boss fights in there.
That's my dog.
That exists in the game. Like, oh yeah. So this is what you would need. Now I won't give that to you because okay. So Nick, there is a class that came out just recently called the Inventor.
Binga. I love that dog.
And the Inventor makes like magical armaments like with technology, like they cross like the edge. However they do it, like it's up to you to create like how they make their technological wonders. Yeah, you make technological wonders. Like, you can have, for example, a mechanical companion that's like a, like, you customize it, and, like, you can change it and modify it, and, like, have it, like, do jobs. Like, you can make it fucking, give it, like, a fucking propeller, or, like, you know, like, it depends on how you build it. Like, you'll see in the rules when you level up your character, like, what you're allowed to do, and what you can do, and what you can't do. It's, like, clearly defined. In the rules of the game to balance it out. So the makers of the game balanced it out fairly. It's great. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, I don't have the rules on hand for the Tinker. I know it's online. It's online. It's called the website you want to look at. I'm gonna send it to you, or you could write it down. Do you have your computer open now?
Stay strong.
All right. It's called Archives of Nethys. So Archives of Nethys is, how do I explain it to you? It's like a database with all the information on Pathfinder and Starfinder and First Edition, Second Edition. So you wanna pick Archives of Nethys. It's spelled N. It's like Neth, like Neth, and then YS, Nethys. Neth YS. Archives of Nethys. He's like a god of magic in the Pathfinder setting. He's like really famous. He's chaotic neutral. He has like half of his mask is white and the other half of his mask is black. And he's like, he doesn't know if he wants to save the world or destroy it. And he's like a super mage that like ascended to the fucking heavens. And he's chaotic neutral, and he's just all about magic and discovering magic. He's a great deity. He's got a lot of cool lore around him. He was like a pharaoh.
Hey, pup.
Anyway, Archives of Nethys, 2nd edition. Check out that website. That has all your rules, so you can see what your feats are and stuff you could build and like how you build your character. It has character creation rules and everything. I might be able to conjure up a PDF for you, potentially. Damn, what was I trying to do? I was trying to upgrade my pistol, right? That's it. Body shots. I need one more need a little more gunpowder before I can do that. I think what I'm gonna have to do is do a jobby. Alright. Anyway. So yeah. I could totally help you build. Do you want to go through it together at some point, or do you want me to just make it? I'd rather us go through it together step by step, like for us to sit down and I'll walk you through character creation. You have your concept, so you want to play as a half-elf alchemist, and we have to pick a background for you. Now, your ancestry, which is the new word for race, because like everyone wants to be woke, you know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Where am I? Your ancestry gives you feats, and like, and it affects your ability scores. So, with humans, humans get 2 free boosts anywhere of their choice. And the same rules apply for half-elves. The only difference is by making a half-elf is you sacrifice your starting feat. Where like to make your human into a half-elf, you sacrifice your starting racial feat to take the half-elf feat. And that gives you like low light vision, and I'm pretty sure it gives you, this is your heritage. You take the half-elf heritage, and then that allows you to then you can take a racial feat. That's what it is. Yeah, when you pick your heritage, you can pick versatile human, which gives you like an additional general feat. You can play skilled human, which gives you like an additional skill, and your skill automatically levels up to like different proficiency ratings, like every couple levels. Like it goes, okay, at level 5 it becomes expert. You know what I mean? So as a half elf, the half elf heritage just gives you access to the elven language as like a potential freebie if your intelligence score is high enough. And
We're on the way.
Come on, Danny. You can get to that drop.
it also gives you, how do you call it, low light vision. And then for your racial feat, it gives you access to 1 human feats, 2 elven feats, and then this is a big question mark. There might be, I'm pretty sure there are, half-elf exclusive feats too. I'm not 100% positive, don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking there is. Just so you... Huh?
Before they do, what did you find for me?
Why what? Half-elf exclusive feats? I don't know, there was an old school Pathfinder. There's lots of shit for half-elves in old school Pathfinder. That was one of the great, that was just, you know, icing on the cake, buddy. There was way more to that game. First edition Pathfinder, a lot of it translated into second edition, and they keep adding more. They keep taking stuff that was great about first edition, and they're like packaging it to be transmittable into second edition and for it to be balanced, which is what I like about second edition. And they've done it so fast. Like they pretty much quick crapped out all the rule books you need, and there's very little missing at this point. The only thing that's missing, I'll say, for now, is the Inquisitor class. Definitely the Inquisitor class, and I'm pretty sure there's another one. I don't remember what it is. But absolutely, we need Inquisitors back. You can definitely make something that feels like an Inquisitor, you know what I mean? But it's easy to do. But we need the old school Inquisitor back 100%. That was one of my favorite classes in OG Pathfinder. Other than that, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna get to this drop on time. Sorry, I'm like focusing on the road right here. I'm like a minute and a half to go, and it's like 600 miles away. I'm never gonna get there. I'm gonna find a plane. Anyway, I'm about to give up the race. So, what then? Anyway, character creation, right? So now you have your race figured out. As a human, you get 2 ability boosts anywhere. And the same applies for as a half elf, because it technically counts as a type of human.
That's my dog.
I might make it. I got a half a minute. Let's see if I can cross this little pond here. Sorry, bro. 1 sec.
I better hurry up.
You're killing me. Got like 15 seconds for this little dinghy to get across the lagoon. I think I got it. I got it. If I don't, it is what it is. That was close. Better luck next time.
Fuck! I'm out of time.
Anyway, I gotta try that again. What was I gonna say? So then you add your background. With your background, it gives you some free skills, proficiency in some more skills, like beginner's proficiency, like novice, and like 2 more that are related to your background. And for you, it'll be easy. We can just pick like crafter or something. And that basically means you need to take a bonus to either intelligence or so in order to balance the game out, if you pick like the crafter background, you would have to take a bonus to either intelligence or dexterity, which is perfect for an alchemist, and it gives you proficiency in crafting. And if you're already proficient in crafting because of your class, which you are, then you get proficiency in a skill of your choice, which is great. And for the nice thing about playing as an alchemist is you'll have a big range of skills, because for every +1 you have in your intelligence modifier, that means you can branch out into a new skill. And it gives you access to more languages at start. So you can have like you can pick like Draconic, or like, you have like a few other languages under your belt that your character would know and that you could justify based on what their background is. Like, obviously you would have like the common tongue, which is free. Then you could say, oh, he also knows Elven. Boom. Now you have 3 more you can pick. Draconic, or like Abyssal, Infernal, Celestial, Giant, Orc, like, all the Dwarven, like whatever you want. Or like like the Fey tongue or something, like what's it called, Sylvan, or Undercommon, the language that the people of the Underdark speak, like deep underground, like the Dark Elves and the Durgar, like the creepy, like, oh, there's a creepy shit down there. You don't want to go down there. Fuck the Underdark. If I run that game, you're like, good luck, guys. Like, it's just a bad time. Like, the Underdarks is fucking creepy. Like, if you have to go to the Underdark, it's like, bless your soul. I'd hate to be that. I'd hate to be in that. I'd actually enjoy it. I think you could run a good campaign. I've seen low-level campaigns written for the Underdark that were actually good.
What did you find for me?
So your background gives you... It forces you to take a ability score in one thing, and essentially what it does is it allows you to pick one of your choice as well, which is like the added benefit, I guess. And then it gives you skill proficiencies, and it gives you a feat, like a feat from your background. Typically 100% of the time, so it gives you a skill feat, which basically allows you to tap into more features of a skill, like cool things that like little abilities that come from being trained in a skill. Like there's certain, like for example, you can get like pickpocket, or like things that like little like perks essentially. That's what they are. That are surrounding a general like a skill you have. Like you need to be like proficient in a skill, like maybe be expert level in order to access like a higher level perk for your skill. So that's a whole side of the game. And obviously you're gonna want like the craft traps, like the snare perks. Which there are some skills I'm pretty sure they're class feats. The ranger usually can have the access to do snares. Like if you want to play as a trap ranger, that's like a thing, but like if you want to have someone who just gets access to the traps without being a ranger, so to do it as an alchemist, what you would do is you take the trapper archetype. And you just add it to your alchemist. And there you go. Your concept is manifested. Right? I think so. We'd do it pretty good, because you'd be able to build crazy traps. And if you don't want to do the alchemist, do the tinker. But I've sat down and looked at it a little bit. So like you either basically this is how the Tinker works from my understanding. You either you pick a companion or armor or a weapon, and that becomes like your gear, your gadget. So I think in your case you would probably want to go with armor, so you have like a super suit to do like crazy shit with, like fucking hook shot around, and then fucking take the like the snare, and then like build your character to be kind of stealthy a little bit, and then take like the fucking the snare trap, like the trapper archetype, so you can just fucking fucking plant you know, you can rig your traps everywhere, and then you have like a super suit that gets like cool features and protects you from things like that you modify and customize, and it like levels up with you. It like gets better as you level up, and then you take the traps, so then you get access to like planting traps. Like you can get the items like that actually make real traps in the game that enemies can trigger. What do you think? You'd be like fucking Batman. And then what you could do, Nick, is since you're doing the armor, you really let me think about this. Hang on, buddy. So let me think. You're not really gonna be a social character, I'm guessing, right? You're gonna be more like intelligence. You really don't need a lot of wisdom, because perception's not going to be super important for your character to like notice things, because you're going to have party members that do that. So you're going to be able to like work with your party there, like they got you covered. You don't need to be like super perceptive or like a survival expert. Your group has got you covered on those needs. So you want to focus on crafting. You have a lot of knowledge, so your character is going to be a skill monkey. So any mystery in the game, you're just probably going to crush it, because you're going to have really high fucking intelligence rolls. So that's cool. And you'll get, I would say you want to focus on dexterity. If I were the only sad thing about your character is that you're not going to be a really good direct hitter with this build, so you'd have to like maybe try to work out with party members. Like you'd have to find a way to like direct the combat like into some of your explosives, and then like just kind of settle with using like a crossbow, because with the crossbow you can't add you don't add a strength modifier to it. And then what you could do in addition, if like you're really worried about damage, if you're able to sacrifice class feat for like the snare trapper or the tinker, like if there's a level where you're like, I don't need this, you can then take like the crossbow ace fucking archetype that like lets you like enhance the damage of your crossbow, and then you can, and you'll get cool access to like ruins that can like add an element, like maybe like a fire crossbow or something that'll give you an edge like over time as you level up. But like your main crossbow is gonna be kind of like, you're not gonna be like the all-star damage dealer with this build. You're just gonna have like a lot of utility and support. But your bombs are gonna be like big bangers, obviously, like because you could get a lot of combat control with putting down traps, and then you have a lot of like exploration mobility with having a suit. Like you get you'll get free range of the terrain and like weird shit like that. We have to look at what it gives you. Like I have to like sit down and actually check that out. Yeah, bro. That's what we could make for you. It could work. It could work. It could work, I'm saying. Yeah, it can more than work if that's how you foresee that. I guess that's basically how I'm like giving you an accurate portrayal of like what that character would look like. The only issue, I don't know if like the fucking, unless like your fucking suit comes with a fucking light that it can produce itself, which could be very well be possible. I need to look at the feats. You might need to use. You might have to like invest in like a torch or something if you're like in absolute darkness, because you're giving up the alchemist by being a tinker. Like now, if you played the alchemist, you'd get AOE bombs plus traps. So you'd just be a fucking menace, like throwing like different types of explosives that can do like status effects or like blind them if you want to do like smoke bombs, shit like that. So that might be a little more like to your speed, if you know what I mean. Alchemist is a real fun class. The Tinker's like, I don't know. I feel like I would enjoy. Personally, I would have more fun playing an Alchemist than I would. I'd feel more like I contributed more easily to the party by being able to throw explosives than having a fucking super armor. I mean, a slingshot. Oh, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how you would have to get that. Alternatively, because like you can get a grappling hook as any class. Any class can fucking buy a grappling hook, bro. It might not necessarily. Oh, I'm sorry. It might not necessarily. Fuck. Why are they killing me so bad? One sec, bro. Why? Yeah, I'm saying like there's feats. I'm trying to think of like feats that would give you like that kind of mobility where it feels like you have a hook shot. I'd say you'd want to go with, like I was saying, when you play as the Tinker, you choose you want a weapon, an armor, or like a ally. Those are like the three choices that come with a Tinker. And then I'm saying, like, if you want to do the traps, like you said, you want to build traps and like put down terrains things. That's there's like a trapper archetype you could take. And I'm saying if you focused on the armor, that gives you like that utility of like being able to hook shot around. Like, I'm just saying as like something that's built into a class. I'm just thinking in those terms of like what's already like pre-built into the stinking class, if you know what I mean. That's probably your best option. Yeah, I'm just trying to explain things by like what's actually available in the game, like built into classes, like in the feats, like how you would produce that kind of feel if you wanted to be like somebody who has a hook shot.
Danny, you've outdone yourself.
But the way that it's still like it wouldn't really be a hook shot because it's fucking. You're probably with the words that we could like you can imagine it like that, but yeah, you could do that. I mean, I guess technically, yeah, we can give you a hook shot guy. Sure. But it's just gonna be probably, I would say it would have to be built into the Tinker. And then you'd probably have to take like the armor builds, because that would just give you like something on your equipment that like that's like a utility suit that like gives you access to crazy feats that are like that surround that particular you know what I'm saying. That build. Oh, damn, my neck's killing me. I gotta get my fucking special little pillow. I'm getting old. Neck's giving out on me. What the crap is this? I never had these problems. So that's about all it takes to making the character, and then you'd be level 3 at start. So let me see. I mean, I could just fucking open the, where's my computer? My girlfriend's gonna be so mad at me if I get into Pathfinder right now, but I can't help myself. Because she's actually listening to me talk to you about all this, like wondering what the hell these gringos are talking about because she can't speak English. Lo siento, mi amor, sé que me escuchas. Estoy hablando sobre cosas de Pathfinder con mi amigo aquí. Él quiere jugar con nosotros en el juego que voy a hacer con los amigos de trabajo por internet. Y él está diciendo que quiere crear un alquimista que es medio elfo, como como una mezcla de humano y elfo, un humano con rasgos élficos. Y pues va a crear, bueno, al principio estaba diciendo que quería ser un alquimista, pero luego cambió de parecer y decidió ser un inventor, y es otra clase. Y bueno, él dice que quiere ser como Link de Legend of Zelda, que tenía como un tipo, una cuerda con un gancho que usaba para moverse por, o sea, era como la vaina de Batman o Spider-Man para como tener esa movilidad en el juego. Yeah. Y está diciendo que él quiere crear trampas en el campo de batalla, como la cosa de él sería trataría de crear trampas, bombas, explosivos, cosas que se colocan en el suelo y el enemigo pisa encima y boom. I explained your character.
What she thinks about Spider-Man.
She doesn't. I already know what she thinks about Spider-Man.
What she thinks about Spider-Man.
She don't like Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Which is weird, because she loves Marvel. So I really don't get what her beef is with Spider-Man, because I'm big into Spider-Man, but she just thinks, I don't know, she just thinks he's an idiot. She doesn't like him. She don't like Peter Parker. I don't know. She's got beef with Peter Parker. I don't know what it is. Amor, una pregunta. ¿Cuál es tu pedo con el hombre araña? ¿Qué tienes en contra del hombre araña? That's how you say Spider-Man. El hombre araña. Araña is spider and hombre is like a man. El hombre araña is like the Spider-Man.
Hey.
Huh? Jose will pay for what he has done.
O qué tal Miles Morales. ¿Qué opinas de él? Tiene que mandarme un mensaje por donde sea. Pero estoy esperando su respuesta, así que a ver, dime. She might not even be listening. She could have got bored because I was like yammering on for so long in the game. She might have muted my ass. Or fucking tuned into some other shit.
¿Qué hola?
Word.
We got your back.
So I get that. So that's why you want to play that type of character, huh? So you can fucking hookshot around. I mean, it works. Oh yeah. Just the. Well, can I just offer you a suggestion? Hang on, I think she just messaged me. She says, Los actores. Okay, she says that the actors that interpret him are getting stupider and stupider, and that she says that just seeing the character now, she can't stand it. Like after all the dumb actors that he's gone through, she's just done with them. And she says, more than anything, Ultimate Spider-Man is a stupid boy. Is like a little stupid boy, and he doesn't fit his big role. He's not man enough to fit in the shoes of his role. She might be right. He might not be. He might just be a scared little boy with a pretty face. She's like, I think hers is like Thor. She loves like I think that's what she gets into. I don't know who her favorite ones are. Probably Thor. ¿Cuáles son tus favoritos, amor, de Marvel? Thor y qué más? I'm pretty sure she likes the movies with Thor. I think she has the hots for that actor, if I'm being fair, because she made me watch a mercenary movie that he starred in, where he's like had to like rescue like a little boy out of India who was like abducted, and I'm just like, are you just like making me watch this movie with you so you can check this dude out? It kind of felt like. Oh, I'm saying I think she just has the hots for the actor who plays Thor. Because she had me watch this movie with him where like he starred as like a mercenary that like rescues this little boy out of fucking India who gets like abducted, and like the whole movie he's just being like a macho hunk, and I think she was just like fucking drooling over him the whole film while I'm like, this movie's gay. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Alright, what does she say? She says she likes Spider-Man from the comics.
Which comic?
¿Cuáles cómicos?
Ask her if she likes,
She said something about Tony Stark. I don't know what she's saying.
ask her if she likes the Civil War.
The Civil War in Marvel?
Yeah.
Amor, ¿te gustó la guerra civil de Marvel que tuvieron en Marvel? I got my Spanish down pat, Nick. People get really shocked how fluent I am in Spanish, that I understand everything. I don't miss a beat in Spanish no more. I understand everything. And yeah, they get weirded out looking at me, like, they get really thrown off, like, how is this little fucking white boy blue eyes, like, fucking, they're like, what are you like Dominican or Colombian? Like, what are you? They always think I'm either Dominican or Colombian now. Venezuela. Or Costa Rica. They ask me if I'm Costa Rican too. I've got that one. They'll ask me if I'm Costa Rican a lot.
Tell them you're from Midori.
Where the fuck is Midori, yo?
It's off the coast of Portugal.
Ay. They're gonna believe. No, they think I'm like fucking from like the coast. Like I'm from Cali or something. Like, cause they say I have like a tropical sounding Spanish.
Hey.
I got that airy, like, what's that, man? Kind of that melodic, kind of flowy Spanish. That's like I pronounce everything very concisely and like very clearly, and really enunciate my words, and my grammar's very proper. So people are like, "Oh, you speak a really like proper Spanish," but like.
How come you don't hang out with Will's friend Aaron?
Little Aaron? I told you already. He's a little bitch. Maybe I should hang out with him more. Maybe I was too hard on him. I think I was too hard on him. I was going through some shit. I was just being a meanie, I think. But he kind of. I thought he was being a little bitch a couple times. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't treat him like a little bitch. I always do that with guys like that I don't know when I first get around them. I'm like, who's this little bitch? Like, are you? I instantly start looking at them. I'm like, are you a pussy? I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong with me. Especially if it's young boys, I'm like, get your act together, boy. Like, what's this bullshit you're doing? Like, I start dadding them. Greenhorns. Find a military fighter plane for Philly. Okay. Deal. Bet. I can do that. What's she saying now? Oh my goodness. She said no. She said comics. Okay, she corrected me. She said I didn't say comicos. I said comics. She says it was good, but the best. She says it was good, but the best in the comics since the Civil War started. No, since the Civil War, I started to hate Captain American. Here. Oh, her favorite. That's right. Her favorite is frickin' Tony. What's his name? Iron Man. That's her favorite. She's big on Iron Man. I only saw the first one. An Iron Man game. plane. Get in, boy.
This plane should work for Philly.
Oh god, I'm gonna get
Have to
tanked.
get it in the hangar.
Oh my god, I gotta land it. Damn, I just got exploded. The fucking tank hit me on time while I was in the plane before I could take off. I fucking like went on fire like while I was taking off and I blew up. That was terrible. Yeah, so the idea for the game that I'm running for Pathfinder, like the homebrew I'm doing, is like basically for the antagonist, I'm just going to have like I'm doing like a homebrewed little like empire that's in service of basically to give you a quick summary. Evil empire type of setting that's trying to like really lock down on like the rural areas and like the little independent states and kind of like do like a resource grab. The way that they're set up though is like their emperor is like a high. It's kind of like they have high. He's not a high priest. I'm sorry, but he's like just a fucking. I'm just gonna make him a lich essentially, like a lich. So he's just like the immortal emperor, and the way I'm doing a lot of his counselors, they're just high-level clerics that worship the dark gods that like get blessings from them. So they act as like their conduits of influence, like in the setting. So like ways you can kind of rebel is like you can go against like different factions of the. It's almost like how Assassin's Creed is set up. There's like going to be spheres of power and influence and like resource gaining, and it's all going to be like if I do my home brew, it's like you can kind of like take it where you want. If you just want to like it's an open-ended game, so it's like do whatever the fuck you want, like an open world. Just like sit down, beer and chips, like you have your characters, like this is what you go and find and explore, and this is what happens as we go around, and you'll have a laugh. Like that's the essential. I don't want to make. I just kind of I want it a little bit sandboxy, and I can easily come up with like little side quests, and there is going to be an overarching plot and everything. But like, do I really want to like get the screws in on a group? I don't think so, because I think everyone at the end of the day just wants to like sit back and have a game for fun, and like not get into like a super deep like ins and outs of a long-winded campaign. Nobody has time for that anymore. So I'm trying to like put together a sandboxy setting that's like, you know, it's like gonna be a long campaign, but it's just a sandboxy built one, just to let you guys learn how to play the game and like test it out and like level up and do like encounters and just learn Pathfinder. It's mostly gonna serve as like a just for fun tutorial at the end of the day. Is kind of like my approach for it. So if you're into something like that, like we're gonna do it all virtually over the headphones, which kind of sucks, but it's the best I can really do. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the hope. Yeah, dude. If you want me to run something for like some of your friends and for me to get some of mine who are more serious, like we could do it that way. Damn, I suck at. Like, if you wanted me to like do like cut down like the group member to like I don't know, we could do like an extra game like cause I gotta see like how many people want to jump into this. So it's like you, Gabe. There's 1, 2, 3. I already have in my group at work. There's let me think. I would have 1, 2, potentially 4 people. I'm not positive about like the full count, to be honest. It might be 3. So then it would be 4. Oh, then 5, 6. That's perfect. Yeah, we could do that. That's not a problem. I thought it was gonna be into the 7 range for some reason. I'm like, if we got into the 7 range, that's what I'm just like.
So
hold
things
up.
Are going to get crazy.
Like, it's too many people.
Just what I need.
Like,
Just keep up the pressure.
I'm heading back
as long
to
as
the
we do it,
Monteros
keep it
farm.
less than 7.
See
I'm
what I
fine.
can do.
There's always something to do on a farm, Danny.
Usually, like my preferred number
Nice
is
try,
4.
Clara. But you're a city kid, like me.
That's like the best count. But the nice part about having 6 people playing is that when somebody can't show up, it's like
I'm on it.
you can do swap
See you
outs
soon,
and like it
Espada.
doesn't hinder the party too bad. So that works great. And if the full party's there, you just up the encounter. You just say like, okay, I'm gonna put it on hard mode a little. Which I can do. Okay, because the math adds up. So like you just pair the encounter. You have a group challenge. Your group has like a level rating. You know what I mean? So your group adds up to have its own challenge rating for me. If you think about it that way, your group has a CR for me. So I want to try to send things that are equal to, a little bit under, or a little bit over your level in order to make it for a good, fun game. That's like where you want to swing, usually. A little under, equal to, or a little over. And that's how, like... And now if you're not supposed to fuck with a certain individual or like place in the game, you can definitely, like, let's say you make an area where it's like, okay, there's a really bad antagonist into this one spot. Like, I could like build like a fucking, you know, I could end up planting something out there that's like horrible to find, and I'll give you signs and warnings and indications like, guys, maybe we shouldn't fucking unearth this type of feel, you know what I mean? But by all means, I could put some higher level shit out there that just has you like fucking like, fuck this. Which is also part of the fun of throwing in the towel and being like, let's get the fuck out of here, James died. and James died really fast. Like really, like a snap of a finger. Like maybe we should leave. type of deal. If you catch my drift. Yeah, we can work it out. I'd like to do I could start with the horror game. But honestly, Nick, I'm more fan of the improv, like open-ended, like beer and chips, like pretzels and beer kind of style of play. I know it's a little outdated. It's a little you know, it's a little lower class than me, but it's a guilty pleasure. Like I could, you know, like there are very refined campaigns out there
Good to see you,
that
Danny.
like professional writers make that are just like, wow, they're good, and they're cool because they're kind of like they're focused, but but everyone has to be like, okay, our job is to complete the adventure. Like everyone has to play that with that in mind. Like our job is to beat the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of on a railroad track when you do a pre-written adventure. Everything's more kind of like on rails. The pre-written adventures?
No, like running a real clean game.
No, it's not, because everybody just needs to have their character sheet in front of them and know what their feats are, know what their skills are, and all I need to do is react to what you guys do. And if I have a setting built and everything dropped out, I have a point of reference where it's like, I know the rules of the game, I know what the hazards and counters and the challenge ratings are, and like what some puzzles are. I just need to set everything up. And it's like, if I have a pre-written adventure, I just plop it down and I'm like, okay, I just need to narrate and then help you guys, and then dictate the dice rolls, and I need to control the monsters and control how the environment responds to your characters as you explore the haunted house.
Hey, look, it's Danny.
Which for me is a good time, because I like, you know, I'd love to creep you guys out into like a creepy horror game, like, and then just really like play with some of your guys' minds, especially if we're doing a lot of theater of the mind. I'll have a hoot like messing with you guys. I'm pretty good at keeping a poker face and pulling little stunts like that. I've learned from much better peers, so I kind of know what I would want to add to my game based on like listening to a lot of people's dungeon mastering styles. Like, I've listened to a lot of dungeon masters on like podcasts for like years. I've listened to people run campaigns, so like I know a lot about the game, Nick, and like how to run it and like narrate it and come up with a good story and everything and keep things like flowing. The best thing is to keep things moving. I don't get too hung up on the details. That's what's great about 2nd edition, is everything's super intuitive. Like you're never like, look this up and compare. Like, I just pretty much, a lot of it is like, okay, like I actually can have like cards where I say, this is your condition. Like, I just pass you a condition card. It's like, it comes down to copy and paste. Like, you get this penalty to certain types of actions you take now, or you're sick for this much time. Like, there's like certain things that I'm gonna like take a segment of time out to like plop on your lap, and like, this is what this entails. This is, you know what I mean? So there's a little of that. But I'm looking forward to doing the pre-written adventure, because it's got 5 stars, which is very rare for a pre-written adventure. I've never seen such good reviews for one. So people seem to be like loving the haunted house. So I just bought it. I haven't sat down and looked it over yet. I could do that on my break. No problem. I enjoy reading Pathfinder books.
So what's our next move, Espada?
You got any ideas?
I'm just glad I finally have people who want to play. That was my biggest problem for so long. I'm like, why doesn't anyone want to fucking play Dungeons and Dragons with me?
You just gonna let this happen?
Long time coming, Danny.
Which is what it is, Nick. We're just playing D&D.
Stop!
Your brother's a traitor.
See,
that's what Pathfinder is.
and he'll spend
D&D.
the rest of his life making up for it. You ready to look in the mirror and admit your mistakes?
You first.
Oh yeah, see?
Fine.
Even so, you're like,
I voted for Castillo.
this has been a long
I didn't
time.
want to, but Viviro was going to.
You'll know how to play. It has a lot to do with video games.
Mierda, I doubted you. All of you. I blamed you for not being guerrillas.
Depends on how you stylize it. I like to keep things flowing. I have challenges. Not everything is going to be combat. There's going to be a lot of like talking out things, problem solving, exploring, and like maybe like you end up in a prison. Like, I'm going to have like, you have to basically figure out how you're going to break out of jail, and like then we role play it out. There's skill checks, like there's skill checks to everything that dictate whether you succeed or fail.
And then we hit that airbase. Now what the fuck are we still doing?
The way
here?
combat works, it's turn-based. So you get an action economy, just like in ¿Cómo se llama el juego? Just like XCOM.
Hasta el final.
So you get in old school Pathfinder, it was a little more confusing because they had move actions, standard actions, immediate actions, swift actions, like different types of actions. So there was a swift, an immediate, a move action, and a standard. And that was like your economy, your action economy. Now it's you get 3 actions. You can do 3 things on your turn. So the way it works is when you get into combat, like, or it, not necessarily combat, you could be on a timer, like you have so many rounds to stop someone from, like, imagine like you find someone bleeding out. You can potentially get information from them, right? So you might be able to save this person, and they could be a resource of some sort to you. If you save this man, who is he? So, like, what's his story? Why is he bleeding out? So if you rescue this guy, I'll say, okay. If you, let's say, for example, I'd say roll for initiative, just like you're getting into combat. Everyone rolls their d20, a 20-sided die, and then you add your initiative modifier. So it's pretty cut and dry. That dictates who acts first. Like, so let's say you roll a 18 and the enemy rolls a 20, that means the enemy's going to act before you. Does that make sense? And then when it's your turn, you get 3 actions. So it's like you go, then your ally goes, then another ally goes, another ally goes. That's why I usually prefer a party of 4, because it keeps things moving a little quicker. But having 2 more people just means that there's 2 more turns being taken until it's your turn during, like, combat. Because, you know, there's a little bit of a microphone time when it comes to your turn, because you dictate how you are gonna use your smarts. Let's say for one of your actions you want to move, right? Let's say you get 30 feet of movement speed. Okay, great. You could spend 2 actions to move 60 feet. You use 3 actions to move 90 feet. Or if we're doing theater of the mind, I'll say you tell me where you want to go up. Let's say you want to climb up onto the like a balcony or something. I'd say okay. I'd ask you to give me an athletics check, which takes an action. It's going to take a move action to get there, and then an athletics check to get up. That's another action. And then another action could be finally drawing your weapon, and then that's the end of your turn. You got it? So, like, let's say an example of your action economy. Let's say you have the hook shot, okay? Maybe, so as a standard action, let's say it basically gives you, your gear gives you like a flight speed or something, like a temporary, you activate it, you move, that's like 2 actions. Let's say you're a thief, okay? You spend 1 action taking out your grappling hook. You spend another action throwing it onto a target. And then you spend your 3rd action climbing up. And that's the end of the turn. And on the 4th, and then on the next round, you spend an action drawing your crossbow. Is it loaded? Probably not. It takes an action to put a bolt in it. Then on your 3rd action, you pop off a shot. And then that's the end of your turn. That's the way it flows.
Right. Sounds fun, right?
Yeah. And then, like, obviously when you fire a shot, I'm going to say roll a d20. And it's going to take it's going to go off of your attack modifier, which is usually for, like, a crossbow, it comes off your dexterity. And then your proficiency. If you're like a martial class, it's going to be higher, like an expert or master proficiency. Whereas like a support character, like like a cleric or something might have like a lower proficiency in like in like a melee weapon than like a fighter would. Like they still get a bonus, but it's not going to be as high as the fighters to swing something. So whatever that all adds up to, you take that modifier and you add it to the result of a roll 20, a d20. So you roll a 20-sided die, you add your modifier, and you ask me, you tell me what the total with is, and if that beats the armor class of your target, then it hits. And I say roll for damage. You could critically succeed. If you critically succeeding means that you roll 10 higher than their armor class. If you roll 10 lower than their armor class, like let's say the number you need to hit is a 20, and you roll a 9, that's a critical failure. Like, you know, like that's like if it's like there's like you might have to draw like that could affect spells, for example. Like if it's usually more like you just miss with a weapon, but like if you critically fail with like a spell, like like shit could backfire or it just has no effect at all, like not even a minor effect, which sucks because you just wasted a spell. Like it depends on what it is. It varies. There are cards I could buy that like I say like you draw a card if you critically fail or critically succeed that add like an extra effect. Like that's an option. I don't use those rules. I feel like it slows things down a little bit. I just take, if you critically succeed, you get to add your weapon effect or the bonus spell effect, which is great. And then you do double damage, which is great. End of story. Big Mang Boom. It keeps it flowing.
Let's see what you got.
I don't like to add too much extra shit. That's gonna like hamper the game. I try to keep things flowing fast and not hamper the game down. Because that's the last thing you need. Getting like bogged down in like really obscure rules. That sucks. That was the problem with the first edition.
Ready.
Ortega, let's fucking go.
We draw out Jose's forces and leave the airbase open. Then we hit him with everything we got. Let's kick some ass.
The problem with first edition was that it was broken, so they had to like, it was mathematically broken. The system was broken. Yeah.
Holy shit! It actually works!
Feel the rhythm, hero. Feel it.
Oh my god, I have a napalm gun.
Shit, Philly.
But yeah, we'll get you a character going, bro. And I think you'll have a good time.
Hey. That's probably if Gabe wants to play.
Yeah, see if Gabe wants to play. Let me know what he's thinking. Because, like, we have a healer. And we have a trap finder. So those are, like, the main jobs I'm always worried about. So, other than that, we're good.
Trap finder.
So once you have a trap finder and once you have a healer in your party covered,
over here,
then like you're pretty much good to go. Yeah. Yes, sir. That is all you need. The trap finder. So trap finding, Nick. This is what trap finding means. That's a rogue feat. It's given to rogues and it's given to investigators. Now, it's not freely given to them. They have to pick it when they as they level up. You can get it at first level. It's a first level class feat, which is like if you play a human, you get 2 first level class feats, which is great. That's the nice part about playing as a human, is that you get more class feats, as opposed to like weird little racial abilities that like make you cool somehow, which is essentially what most races are. They're like, okay, you're not just a human, you have these features that give you this. You know what I mean? I don't mean to make it sound cheap. Like some of them are great, and they give you access, and it basically that grants you access to race-only feats, which can really season. You can really flavor what you have in mind to play, because some races complement some classes naturally. Some races were built with a certain class in mind. You could even say, in my opinion. There's just some like elves always make the best wizards. I'm sorry, but elves are the best wizards, hands down. Elves and humans are the 2 best wizards. Half elves, I don't know. Probably wouldn't be bad. Yeah, I can see that one. Dwarves, they cannot play any fucking class that essentially has, what's it called? You cannot play a class that really has,
Okay, Philly. Let's see what you got.
Charisma. They get a penalty to charisma, dwarves, because they're like stodgy, like dour, little miserable, like grumps most of the time. So dwarves get penalized to charisma, so they do better. They get a bonus to wisdom, and they get a bonus to constitution. So that's pretty, and they get dark vision naturally, dwarves. They can see in the dark. So, like, dwarves are really sturdy, and they get a lot of health to start. So, like, a dwarf is great if you want to play as, like, a 2-weapon fighter that uses their wisdom to survive. Like, wisdom affects survival, the survival skill.
Holy shit!
You are one with Nepal Niño.
So, dwarves make great rangers. Yeah.
Shit, Philly.
Sure. Like, not necessarily an archer, I'm not saying that. But like a crossbow ranger, definitely. They do great with the crossbows. And they're also, yeah, that's probably the best one for the ranger. And then you get like an animal companion if you want. Not even, you don't even necessarily need one. You could just be a fucking giant hunter. No problem. I would. Terrible flying these planes, bro. I love this game. Just the Spanish makes it so much better. Because like all the music like fits like what's going on, and like I understand the lyrics and everything, so just like I love how they do it. Like they did a great job. Where do they want me to go? Okay. I feel like that dude that hijacked that plane on the military base in that meme.
Almost done now.
I really need to practice my piloting.
That takes care of the Viviro. And your Nexus. Gotta get to that airfield.
Where do they want me to go? Now what am I brecking? Alright, you, me, and the... Alright. They'll give me that plane as a reward, though.
Where's your status? I don't see anybody yet. I think we're clear.
We're south of the base, ready to move. We good to start shooting or what?
3 o'clock. Open fire. Son come mierdas on the left. Watch your fire. Hold your position. Don't move until I say.
Alright, they lost my trail. Emergency landing.
Flanking on the north side. They won't know what hit them.
Come on, compay. Let's move.
I know what I need. My special armor that slowly repairs it. Yes. I have the Tech Master armor that lets me slowly repair my my vehicle. I forgot I had that. Let me put that shit on.
On the right. Don't let them pin you.
Motherfucker! Fire now! Anything you got! Shit, we're getting swarmed! We're cut off! I repeat, we're cut off!
Stay calm. Stick to the plan. We're getting it.
Oh, what's my baby saying? I'm having a good old time. I had a little mushrooms. I don't even feel like they did anything to me, Nick. I only had like one little cap. Maybe I should eat the rest of the bag.
I got some really good weed. I just feel a little guilty not my girl.
Ah, whatever. I'm not with mine either. She's going to her aunt's house. She has a meniscus in her knee and she has to get that shit operated. Probably they're gonna X-ray that shit. I hope not. They're gonna I gotta stop saying that. They're gonna X-ray it. Damn. Maybe I should just maintain the buzz I got going on. I'm looking at these stems. They're fucking huge. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to down those, so I'm feeling pretty good, Nick. I think I'm good. I'm like, damn, that's the addict in me. I'm like, let's keep hitting it. I guess I'll have a little more weed. If I need something safe, just have a little more butter. Tell you another hit. I'm gonna have some of the lucid blue. I'll take a little lucid blue. My indica mixer is fire, but the house blend is the house blend. That's like my house shake at this point. It's like fucking 5 different top-notch strains that are all like indica dominant hybrids, all in one. Like they're. Oh yeah, Spider-Man. It's a great game. Oh, here's my weed bags. Let's see. I'll put a little fresh lucid blue nug in with the burnt one. Just put a little sprinkle of the fresh on top of the burnt one. Just to get most of the burnt down, but also get a little bit of the freshness. It's Christmas. I'll eat a little mushroom. Damn, no, I gotta save the mushrooms for tomorrow. I can't. I don't got it in me. I'm looking at them. I'm like, I'm gonna want those two later at the same time to be a little more potent. I can't just fucking take nibbles off of the hit. I don't want the big hit, but I'm leaving the big hit there. I had 2 little mini mushes, little mini pieces earlier. The nice thing about the mushrooms, Nick, is that they make it so I don't need to sleep like for 8 hours. They basically turn off the possibility of sleep for me, which could be good or could be bad. because it's like if I need a supplement to like I just know I'm like, okay, when I take this mushroom, I'm gonna be up for the next 8 hours, like energized. After the trip goes down, that's in the wake of the aftermath of the trip. You automatically just cannot sleep for the next 8 hours after you do a mushroom. I don't know what it is. If you do a little bit, like, I mean, you can, but if you do like a dose that gets you high, if you get high on mushrooms, like you have a reaction, you're like, I'm high on the mushrooms right now, holy shit. Which I did not, honestly, I did not get from the little bit I ate. But the amount I did the other day got me. The little bit I did just got me probably a little giggly and just like energized. But when I fucking tripped on them, dude, oh my god, that was a night. I had a good time. I'm not gonna say it was bad. Like I probably should have been sleeping, but I regret not sleeping. But other than that, it was good for my mental health. It fucking hit the restart button on me.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that with me at some point, I'm happy to fucking help you. And I don't mean to be dishonest or like interpose secrets or anything, but it's subtle, like enough that like if you want to keep it low key and do it just for you, like, buddy, I got you. Yeah. Say no more. You're my best. You're like you're my bro, dude. We go way back. Yeah. I'm freaking. You know, you can always count on old V. I'm here for you, buddy. OB. Mr. OB. That's it. I guess I'll re-up on the beer. It was only a 6%er. It's not like... It was a big-ass can, though. Fucking... One of those... What are they, like 12-ounce pints? Those big cans? I got, it's basically just like a milk stout with, I guess, cocoa and ginger. It's definitely a dessert beer, which is like, it has its time and place kind of beer, you know what I mean? It's not like my immediate go-to, but it's nice as a winter warmer for like the festive. It's like good for like, you know, being at the Thanksgiving table or like, not even really, just fucking, just like a chilling out at home Christmas Day kind of, like when you got your little Merry Christmas sweater on, might as well have like a yummy stout. You know what I mean? That's when I reach for the stouty.
I got some beers in the fridge that weren't for me.
I'm pretty sure I got like one Presidente left. But I'm good on the Pilsner. I'm gonna have to pick up. I'm gonna have to go to Mount Moon's probably on, let me think, Tuesday night. I want to get some Mamoons? Yeah. I know. I want to go there on Tuesday night. If you want to meet me there, we could chill. Well, we don't have to do that. Like, I'm just doing like a little mission to go grab some Mamoons, bro. We see each other all the time.
That'd be a good idea.
We could do your Pathfinder character right then and there, actually. I don't want to drag it out, though. I just want to, like, quick punch out the numbers and, like, write down, like, here's your character, and we'll crap out your first level character, and then we just have to add 2 levels to him real quick.
Like I said, dude, let me check with Gabe first, alright?
Well, you don't need Gabe to play. I mean,
Yeah.
I
You know, make it worth it.
Alright.
Playing with a bunch of nerds is one thing, you know.
Yeah, they're. I mean, you got me as the DM, and I'm gonna be like, and I'm a very rules lawyer, so.
Which is fine. I just want I want my buddy with me. That's all. I want my partner.
I think I'm gonna give you an accurate portrayal of what's gonna probably happen. So. Peyton's probably going to be a dickwad and flake out. I'll be surprised if he hangs in there. If he really tries, like, then good on him. But if he can't hold his own, I'm gonna politely ask him to excuse himself from the game and say, like, look, this ain't working out. But I give him. It seems like he's scrappy and he wants to try. Like, he can be a little obnoxious. And I don't have a lot of patience for too much obnoxiousness, Nick. Like, I get a little grouchy when someone's being, like, overly obnoxious. It's just like, alright, come on. It's like, yeah, haha. You know what I mean? But, like, it's like, let's get to the point. Like, let's keep things moving. Like, by that, Nick, my fear is that Peyton could distract from the adventure a little bit and just try to do like tomfoolery and not like take his character really seriously or take the game that seriously, which kind of like shits on the experience for everybody else. So
Which is why I would never want to invite Will in on it.
yeah, because we got to get into it, and it seems like Peyton wants to try. Juliana's like a really like carefree, laid back. She's cool. She'll English is her second language, but she like tries to apply herself. At least, and like she's funny usually. So she's fine. You just have to recognize that she's like a Latina young immigrant, but like she plays, like it talks to everybody and everything. She just English is her second language, so that's another problem. Those are the 2 problems. I expect that they probably will like attend first session and be like paying attention to me, like okay, like trying to figure this out, and then we'll see where it goes from there, like how everyone works together. Like, I'm gonna definitely keep them in line with some of the dangers in the game as I narrate, and Juliana always understands me, like when I speak English, because I know how to narrate and enunciate things in a way, like, because English and Spanish have a lot of Latin, like, commonalities. So as long as I speak concisely and she can hear how I enunciate the words, she's on point. So that's no problem. I don't want to be speaking through my teeth anyways when I'm narrating a game. I have to put on my narrator voice. That's a muscle that needs to be flexed. So those are the two possible dropouts that I could see. Now, for the real committed players, we have Andre, he's very good spirited. He's a young guy. He's not annoying. He's not asinine. He's not mean. He's actually a really nice guy. He's a nice kid. Like, I like him. He's like a likable, easygoing, like, he's a cool kid. Like, I work with him. He helps me out all the time, and he's like laid back and like he's not like stupid. And I see like he has good judgment, and he's got a good heart to him. He's a good-natured guy. I appreciate him, which is rare. I don't say that about a lot of people. So I like Andre. He's cool. His family's from Portugal, so he speaks Portuguese, and I can speak basic Portuguese, and he can speak basic Spanish. So like we end up like kind of speaking Portuñol, like a weird mix to each other, like at work sometimes. So like he's a homie. Anyway, also committed and also young, and also very nerdy, like a avid book reader, movie fanatic, geek, like big time geek, Princeton boy, the one with the Irish, the James, the ginger. He's fine. He's you can tell he's been a little bit sheltered sometimes, but he's a good enough kid. He's studied, and he has a good vocabulary and knows how to talk, and he's a nerd and wants to play a halfling rogue. I don't see the problem. Go ahead, kid. Have a whack. That's usually where the fun is, when you have a couple like greenhorns that are like, they're like, whoa, it's like new to them, and it's fun to see how much they enjoy it. That's like part of you're like kind of passing it, you're keeping it alive, you're like stoking the flame of an old school game that brought people together. And Pathfinder has a really good rule set, so like I'm about following the rules and having a good time. Let me think. Who else do I appreciate in the group? Yeah, pretty much James and Andre I can count on. Those are the two I can count on, definitely. Now, Peyton and Juliana, they're like, I feel like Juliana will hang in there. She will attend. She's like, I'm here, and she'll participate. If she slacks behind and I see she's struggling, I might have to like fucking. I don't want to speak in Spanish to her in front of the group if I could help it. But like a part of me, I might have to send her like a text message or like something, like take her aside, be like something. Just if like there's something she's not getting, I might have to like quick point out a few things in Spanish. Like I might have to just switch to Spanish, like to like really quick, like give her like a message, so like it really, so she gets it, and like it just clicks right away, so she's not like wavering, just to help. Yeah, I don't want to do that to her. I don't want to like fucking speak Spanish in front of the group just to get her on page, and then I'll feel like an asshole. Like, but I'll do it. I'll probably do it. I'll just be like, fuck it. Juliana, this is what that means.
So, okay. Go.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you, I had one of the best pot buying experiences we could have yesterday in a long time.
One of the best pot buying experiences?
Yeah.
Word up. I had a good one too myself today, bro, but go on, tell me yours.
Oficial.
Espada, you okay?
See, now get your ass over here.
On my way. Almost there. Where's our tiny head at? He's not here.
Coño. You sure? Little come mierda could be hiding in some tight places.
No, he's... Hijo de puta.
Did you find him?
I'm going to take you somewhere special when this is over. A beautiful place off the Costa Viana. My private island. You will love the amazing sunsets in the warm ocean breeze as I piss down the slit throats of everyone you care about.
Boom, boom.
Your revolution ended before it even started. Castillos are meant to rule. We are the Troyans. This is our destiny. I'm going to take you somewhere special when this is over. A beautiful place off the Costa Viana. My private island. You will love the amazing sunsets in the warm ocean breeze as I piss down the slit throats of everyone you care about. this is over. A beautiful place off the coast of Iara. My private island. I love the amazing sunsets in the warm ocean breeze as I piss down the slit throats of everyone you care about. Your revolution ended before it even started. Castillos were meant to rule. We are the Trojans. This is our destiny. First I will kill you, then I will parade your corpse through the streets of Esperanza. Do you know who I am? I am General Jose Castillo. I am a killer. I am a lion.
¡Move! ¡Quiero come mierda!